Hi there, folks, and welcome to the What Solutions for this week's The Daily Rigour, issue number 208. Okay, so in our first story, it's a wee experiment. A recruitment firm decided to work out how much each of the six friends would earn in real life. I was actually surprised that the lowest earner was a head chef because I actually think that's a great career, and I'm surprised that the others seem to earn a wee bit more, and indeed a head chef earning less than the average salary. I was certainly quite surprised at that. Anyway, the average salary is $48,000, 672. So, is the average salary of these six friends more or less than this figure? You must show you're working and give a reason for your answer. So, obviously, we've got to calculate the average salary first of all. Now, of course, there's three types of averages: the mean, the median, and the mode. But because none of them are significantly, out of sync with each other, I think most of you would have went for the mean here, and that's where we add up all the salaries and then we divide by the number of friends. So of course, in this case, not that we need to count them, we'd be dividing by 6. So that's going to come to rounding to two decimal places, of course, $51,402.67. So if we compare that with the average salary, we can clearly see that it's more than the average salary, and our reason would be because our answer is greater than that $48,672. So something like that anyway. So onto our retail story. So obviously in England, non-essential retailers are opening back up on Monday, and I think in Northern Ireland as well, but as yet not in Scotland or Wales. So Sports Direct are offering NHS workers 50% off on this in all stores on Monday, and of course one of my favourite items that I think is synonymous with Sports Direct, of course, is the giant calculator, and you can currently buy that for £4. So how much would an NHS worker be able to buy this calculator for in store on Monday? So of course the discount is 50%, and to find 50% we divide by 2 because 50 goes into 100 two times exactly. So the discount is £2, but then obviously if you take that away from the original price, you're still going to get £2. So that's the answer that we're looking for. But of course, some of us can't actually go to a store, and indeed many of us don't work for the NHS, who are doing an unbelievable job, of course. But what we can get is a 20% discount on the website by using the Summer 20 code at the checkout. But of course, we've got to pay for delivery too if our order is under £100. So how much would it cost to buy the giant calculator from the Sports Direct website? Well, there's loads of different strategies we could use here. So we could find 20% by dividing by 5, or by dividing by 100 and timesing by 20, and then we'd have to take that discount away from the £4. But the quickest way to reduce something by 20% is to say that there's 80% left, and 80% is a decimal of 0.8. So if we multiply them together, what it does is it works out the 20% and takes it off in the winner for you. But of course we've still got to add on that delivery charge of £4.99, meaning that one of these calculators, even though it's in the sale and it originally cost £4, would actually cost you £8.19 from the Sports Direct website. So on to our next story. So a car dealership has put an online theory test available to customers, because there's a startling figure that a third of drivers would fail the test if they took it again today. So we're asking you here for these road signs, obviously because it's your numeracy and maths newspaper, we're bringing in a bit of symmetry. So how many lines of symmetry does each sign have, and do you know, or could you hazard a guess, no pun intended, what the road sign actually means on our roads? So for number one, we get one line of symmetry. We can all see it's just a horizontal there, and a lot of people would make the mistake of thinking that this means it's a 30 mile per hour zone, so the maximum speed's 30. But that's not right because it's not red. The colour of the sign is blue, which actually means that it's a minimum speed of 30 miles per hour permitted. So that means you're not allowed to go under that speed unless, of course, you're causing a hazard to travel at 30. So assuming all's well and good, you have to travel 30 miles per hour or above on a road showing that sign. So for our second one, of course, we get 4 lines of symmetry. So again, we've got the diagonals this time, where we can see that along the diagonal, each side is a mirror image of each other. So there'd be a diagonal line of symmetry here, a diagonal line of symmetry here. But of course, you've also got The horizontal, just like the previous one, again where this side is a mirror image of this side, but this time as well you've got the vertical one as well. So that's your four lines of symmetry. And this sign, because it's got a red background, it generally is associated with a warning. So this means that there's to be no stopping allowed in a particular road showing this sign. So for number three, there's no lines of symmetry because even though the car's symmetrical, if you actually look at the fragments of the explosion, that's not in symmetry. Each side is not in symmetry with each other. And what on earth could this possibly mean? Well, it looks like no explosives allowed, and that's precisely what it means. On this road, you're not allowed vehicles carrying explosives. And other than Lynx Africa, I don't know what they could possibly mean by that. But anyway, on to our sports story. So Cristiano Ronaldo has become the first billionaire football player, but he was also the highest paid player in the planet in 2020, earning $105 million. So of course, $105 million would be 105 with six zeros. And the question is, how long would it take Monica Geller to earn what Cristiano Ronaldo earned in 2020? Well, if we go back to the first story, Monica earns $43,165 every year. So we basically need to know how many times that goes into $105 million. In other words, it's a divide. And if we type that into a calculator, we get an answer of 2,432.526352 dot dot dot. So that basically means 2,432 and a bit years, which means in order to get the full amount, we'd have to round it up. So she'd have to work for 2,433 years to earn that. Now, of course, this is an extreme example of a footballer, as in the highest paid one on the planet, but it still shows the staggering gulf between what people in ordinary jobs earn compared to this fantasy world of professional footballers, the top earning ones anyway. In Scotland, they don't earn anywhere near that money. But anyway, folks, there we have it, your word solutions for this week's Daily Rigour. We hope you enjoyed answering these questions. Stay tuned for next week's edition when we're going to be looking at more stories from the news of the week and the numbers behind them. But in the meantime, thanks for watching and bye for now.